be happy with that, 11 tries and some of the skills on display, probably your best attacking performance of this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think the discipline was probably the thing that I'm most proud of. I think we've obviously had a couple of weeks where we've managed to get a lead and then we're buttoned off and let the opposition back in or got a little bit sloppy with discipline or skill. And I thought this was a much more complete performance, both sides of the ball. Even, I know we conceded a couple of tries, but a lot of the defensive play in the second half when they had nothing to lose and they chucked a lot at us, we withstood, and our penalty count was in the single digits, and that was a big step up from where we've been as well.
After a couple of kind of grind out performances on the road, was this just what the team needed in terms of confidence?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we did. We knew we had it in us. We were frustrated that we had let ourselves down a little bit in those areas, and it just meant that we just needed to refocus and make sure that each individual brought their best throughout the whole week. The way they trained and the way that they prepared, both physically and mentally. And I thought we were, the timing of the pass, the support lines that we were running, the way we moved around the park was a big step up from where we'd been in the last couple of weeks.
What were you thinking 4 minutes in, 0-14 on the scoreboard?
Yeah, it wasn't ideal start, but these things can happen, and they're good little challenges for us to overcome. And I think for Dalton to be the skipper and make sure that we didn't panic and we stayed composed, and I thought we bounced back well, and by and large the huddle was a nice controlled one. It was about what we needed to do next to get back into the game, and sports happens like this. You're going to have some adversity because that's the way it is, but I thought we dealt with that really well.
What have you made of Akira Ioane, his return over the last couple of weeks since making every close to one?
Yeah, he obviously needs minutes, and he was able to get another good head out. I thought his involvement's probably nearly double from last week, and he's looking hungry and excited out there. And I think everybody worked really hard. I think it was probably the theme of the week is how we really need to roll our sleeves up and go and work for everything. And I thought we did that. Hey mate,
sorry lads.
Yeah. I keep reminding Dan Halengahu about that game actually.
Did it feel like shades there a wee bit? I think he scored 66 unanswered points there at one point. That was a long time ago now. Look, some of the tries I think tonight were fantastic, selfless. Like I said, it's sometimes it's more about the lead-up play than the guy that finishes the ball. It often is, and I think that's probably what we were committed to this week. We had to do whatever was best for the team as an individual, and I think everybody delivered there. And that flair that we've naturally got only ever comes when we're all working really hard for each other. Dalton, what's it like out there when you had a rough start, but then just run rampant and everything clicks? Must be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I guess it is, but I think Rangi touched on it. When the flair's going and we're dominating, it's because we're doing the basics well. And at that start we didn't execute, and we sort of piggybacked them down the field through our discipline. But just goes to show, we could be one of the best teams, or if not the best team in the country or in the world or in this comp, when we get doing the basics well. So we just got to keep harping on about that and keep getting the job done.
Leon, with the Reds and the Brumbies still to come, a couple of formidable Aussie opponents, how important is it that, I suppose, that discipline is there that you've mentioned, but that you put out a performance, maybe not a 70-pointer, but something like that if you're going to get over the top of those two teams?
Yeah, we've got a big, the next little while's critical. It's going to dictate where we finish on the table, which we love playing at Eden Park. We've played well here over the last few years. We've been hard to beat here. I think the Crusaders are the only team that's beaten us here for a little while. So, to give us every opportunity to have a run home, it makes a big difference. And also a bit of pride in defending our record here. I think that's really important. And the guys were really switched on today. I thought they had a really good training. I thought they were well led throughout the week by the leaders. Bowden was away having his break, but other guys stepped up into that space and seeing some real growth in the stuff that we're dealing with off the park, which has made a big difference on the park.
Lachlan, does that chatter start to ramp up a little bit this time of the season? Only a few games left, trying to secure that top spot makes it a lot easier going through those playoffs, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly, but we don't need to change anything. We know the process, and talking to Romano, all that experience, and he said, these are the times where you don't back off. You just keep ramping it up, keep pushing that little bit extra, and I think the boys will keep doing that because we got a taste of how good we can be, and I think that sort of gives us another a drive that we're just going to keep pushing. So yeah.
Leon, who caught your eye in the forwards where I thought the handling was quite superb at stages, the interplay? What impressed you getting forwards?
Yeah, look, I think the decision making around the offload, I didn't think we were flipping at all. I think maybe one loose offload in the game really where I thought we should have probably taken it. So in a game that can open up, that's probably been Achilles' heel in the past. We started getting a little bit overexcited there. It's hard to single out any forward. I thought everybody had their moments. A lot of the interplay stuff come on the back of some pretty heavy carries. I thought James Tucker got some good yards through the middle. I thought Kurt Eklund, early on when their wall was a bit starchier, he was really putting some hard carries in there, and so we earned the right. I think the right way. We were physical in our cleanouts. I thought we fought really hard in that contact area and made it really hard for them to get set on defence, which set up our backs later on.
Are you clear now of the All Blacks rest weeks, and how good to have, if you are, to have that clear run through for the rest of the season?
Yeah. It's nice to have the ability to pick everybody.
Offer, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure about Offa actually. Yeah. So look, we're getting to that point now where we've managed to get through those breaks. We've managed to give some good minutes. I thought the bench come on and did a really good job last week. We were frustrated with some of the impact off the bench, and I thought they brought a really good accuracy, and we didn't really drop away, which is going to be really important.
In terms of, Rico was Rico, but do you continue to see Roger making progress? Some more really good offloads and.
Yeah, he's looking like a rugby player, isn't he? He looks like he belongs out there. He fits in well. He's connected in the D line now. He's communicating well. He's starting to get a feel for the game and where the ball's flowing. And when your outside backs are scoring tries, your midfielder generally are part of either seeing that space or executing the skill to get it to space. And he's starting to do that really well as well.
And Caleb, just a bit on him, because he would have been pretty keen to produce a performance like that, I guess.
Yeah. He was overexcited last week after his holiday, and I thought tonight he just showed the power and the pace that he possesses. But also work rate. I think his work rate's phenomenal at the moment. As was everybody. I think if there's one thing you can hang your hat on is when we all work really, really hard, we get the rewards, and I thought everybody did tonight. Awesome. Nice.